I started as a mechanical project engineer. That time, I think probably UWC revenue is actually 20 times lower than now. Semiconductor business is like a yo-yo, up and down, or we call it digital 1 and 0. So automation, it become very important. When the uptime, you were able to immediately ramp up and deliver to them. And when the downtime, you were able to immediately go down. But we have a challenge. Customer keep on change their product revision, and the vendor cannot say how can be the product continue change. And some of the skill set is actually Malaysia or Asia is not available. It may only available as US or Europe.
What advice would you give about entering the semiconductor industry?
Okay, why we listen to customer, and whenever any opportunity come in, you need to accept it and transform.
How will you manage this? Competition and new policies coming.
That's why as a leader, we have to always sensitive with the market.
Get ready for an exciting episode of the Semiconductor Leadership Podcast with our guest, Anh Yen, Deputy Group COO and General Manager of UWC Berhad.
With a wealth of experience in the semiconductor industry, Anh Yen has led impactful projects and teams, making significant strides in both innovation and business growth.
If you want to gain fresh insights from someone deeply immersed in this ever-evolving field, this episode is for you. Let's dive in.
Hello and welcome back to the Semiconductor Leadership Podcast. I'm your host, Salah Nasri, and it is with great pleasure to show you what is happening live and direct in Malaysia, Penang. Whether you're an industry veteran or someone just curious about semiconductor manufacturing, we have it all for you. From cutting-edge R&D to the latest in market trends to leadership strategies. This is your podcast. Before I go straight into this wonderful interview that is ahead of me, please do me a favor and click that subscribe button, either on YouTube or Spotify. The more followers we get, the more dynamic the podcast gets, just like our special guest today. So, without further ado, I hereby welcome Yen, who is the Group COO, Deputy Group COO of UWC Berhad. So, Yen, welcome to the podcast.
Hello, everyone. This is Yen. Thanks, Sarah, and nice to meet you all.
Pleasure. Yen, I would be intrigued to know, first of all, about if you could give us an overview of your career.
Okay, sure.
And how you got into semiconductor manufacturing, especially knowing that, it is a very male-dominated industry.
Yeah.
So please give us some enlightenment on that.
Okay, I am a mechanical engineer. Yeah. When I went to a university, I think the whole class, 100 over people, maybe 4 ladies. I'm only the ones of the ladies. So I always actually work together with many men. Yeah, even at UWC, right, we have about 70 managers. I think majority are still men.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So I started as a mechanical project engineer. So I serve different customers. And then we started with a very, very small company. That time, I think probably UWC revenue is actually 20 times lower than now. We are actually growing 20 times when I joined UWC about 18 years ago. Okay. So we started as the indirect supplier. So I'm the project engineer. So I have to went to the customer side to understand customer need and lead the project and make it successful launch to our customer. When I mention indirect means that we are supporting not the main equipment too. But because we are doing well, right, I'm so lucky to meet up some of the customer. They actually offer us that whether we want to try some of the direct equipment too. And that time, because I'm a project engineer, I lead the project. And then customers start with a very small mechanical item, and then we manage to make it happen. And then from there, we continue to have small item to a bigger item, a complex item, or to a module assembly. So we actually started semiconductor business about 16 to 18 years. Okay.
16 to 18 years ago?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. With a small one, and then to equipment manufacturer. And then it's about 10 to 12 years ago, we go into a semiconductor. We call it as a back end, which is advanced packaging and final test equipment. So we manufacture the equipment to our customer. And when customer, semiconductor change, revision changes always happen. So when we build from the copy exactly equipment to a new product, coming customer invite us to join on the DFM, design for manufacturing. We provide our idea that they should design this way so that they can have a better cost and efficiency in terms of the whole complete tester, less component with the same function. So we support from Malaysia and then able to ship the equipment to China, Vietnam, and then slowly go to US and go to Europe and world everywhere to have the equipment, okay? And pandemic, I always say challenge is always come with the opportunity. So when pandemic happens, right, before the pandemic, customer always used to be work out with their local region, like US region or US region local manufacturer for the new product because of distance and space and time. So during pandemic, they had the challenge to get a support from local region because of the lockdown. So they actually coming to us like, do you want to try to support all this MPI direct build and ship over to US? We can have the priority to pick up the part. We say that's take the challenge. Even that time it's actually pandemic time. So customer develop a new product. We build and customer take a priority flight from UWC, pick up 2 days, arrive US and make it very successfully for them to launch. So 2022, even the pandemic time, our company is actually hit the highest revenue. And we also won quite numbers of awards as the best supplier to our customer and able to help them launch a new product successfully. So with all these things, my role is actually from project leader, and because I involved on bringing new product and promoted to be a business development manager. It's about 12 years, bring in all the new product and work out very closely with the customer when more and more product coming in. So I think I need to more focus not only on the business because customer give us a business, we have to ensure that deliver to customer and consistently run for them, right? So I actually promoted to be an operation manager. So I taking care of the whole operation, ensure that every product I bring in able to deliver with a good quality and delivery. And then with this, more and more customer coming in from kind of back-end packaging and test customer to front-end. And like front-end, like those is semiconductor tool equipment coming in. So I widened and promoted to be a general manager to cover from the business, engineering, quality, and supply chain, like everything, almost everything for the company. Because the more customer trust me, so I have to put a commitment to them, ensure that we not only bring in business, able to cover everything and make them less worried and happy to use and continue grow with UWC. So that's how I grow as a GM. And 6 months ago, actually promoted as a group deputy COO, not only taking care of the Malaysia plant, we also have Vietnam, Thailand, and also Johor plants, and also US, some of the service office to support our customer. Yeah. This is basically.
What's the most frustrating part of your job?
I think people. I think Malaysia. Everyone will say the same, but I think for our case, it's not too bad. Yeah, even we definitely have certain turnover, but I think that we do have those key pillar employee who really trust and support to the company. They've been UWC many years. Even though when we continue to expand, getting more people, they are still with us. So for us, right, UWC is actually stand for unity, willpower, and commitment. Unity means that we always put people as the first priority.
Is that actually what it means? Unity, willpower, commitment?
Yes, that's right, yeah.
Who came up with this thing?
Our CEO and us, and we actually count. But initially, UWC back to 1990s, right, is actually stand for unique wire cut because the founder is actually selling the wire cut machine, trading. But we changed the core value after maybe 20 years ago. We no longer support those existing business like Wirecard and then all the stamping. We changed the UWC to our core value: unity, willpower, and commitment.
So, is the Wirecard still part of the business?
No.
So I'm intrigued to know, how did the pivot happen?
Okay, so UWC is a Univaca, means that the two founders, they set up the company. They just mainly trading company, selling the Wirecard machine. Yeah. When they start to selling the Wirecard machine, the customer offer to them, hey, since you are selling the Wirecard machine, you know the machine values, right? Why not to help us to use the machine to cut the material? Okay, they say, okay, since I can sell the machine, I can provide value-added service to cut the material to customer. They start to cut the material by Wirecard machine to customer. When they're able to cut, customers say, hey, since you're able to cut, right, why not to help us to add in certain process? So they from cutting and then they go for fabrication, and the more customer requests, they continue to add in value to the product. And that's why UWC continue transform from a trading company to a manufacturer. Yeah.
I see. Remarkable. So for the listeners who may not be familiar with UWC, can you describe the actual, what is the core services that you guys provide to the OEMs? And let's start with the OEMs first. What is the core services that you guys are providing to the OEMs?
Okay, yeah. I also talk to customer. I ask customer why you want to choose UWC, right? I ask few of the customers. So the cool thing for UWC is for them to work out with us, right? They may only look for us. We have all the capabilities, meaning to say that we're able to get the material from the raw material and fabricate the part in-house. Okay. And then even some of the process, other company may have to send to a third party. We are doing in-house, and then we also able to help customer to get all the fabrication part to assembly, integrated to be equipment, and also cover for the testing and packing direct to the end customer. Based on our customer sharing is they work out with UWC rather than they have to work out with few company. Yeah, they may have to look for one fabricator for manufacturing the part and then send to the second integration how to do the integration, and they may get the third party to carry out the test, and then they may get another party to do the packing and shipment. So for us, right, we call us as a one-stop solution is everything we are doing in-house. So this is why we are actually one of the key, I would say, state-of-arts to attract our customer.
So this is on the OEM side.
Yes.
So for the tester side, for the back end, what is that about? Can you give us more details on that side, the solution for the back end packaging side?
In terms of back end, right, in fact, we are working hand in hand with our customer because we are still manufacturer. So customer is actually let us know what are the things to test. So we are the one who working on all the test procedure and assist them to test on the equipments they want before we ship to the end customer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Intriguing. Very, very intriguing. So is it right to say that the field that you're in or the field that UWC is in, from a scale of 1 to 10, how competitive of a market is it?
In terms of UWC and the others field, I ask the same question to my customer as well. Because I, frankly speaking, I'm very particular on voice of customer. You may say I'm 10, but I say it's not really valid. So I always want to understand from customer point of view, right, where we are, right? So from the...
I'm also referring like in terms of competition.
Yeah.
If for example, let's say I said 1 is monopoly.
Yeah.
If you said 1 out of 10 is the competition for you. Or 10 out of 10 is there's a lot of competition.
Yeah.
Where does UWC fit in the middle? I mean, in terms of your perspective of the competitive market or the competition that you have.
1 is monopoly. We are probably at the range of 3.
Okay.
3. Yeah.
Okay. So there's not much competition.
Yes, I'll say that. Yes, 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So what makes you guys so unique?
Our unique is you have to combination few company. You only able to have one UWC. That's why I put out 3. It's not someone monopoly, but you have to combination A plus 1 plus B plus C, then you can get UWC. Yeah.
I see. So other than that, I mean, how are you guys implementing elements of automation, digitalization, principles in your manufacturing and engineering processes?
Okay. Our 60%, which is 70% of business is actually come from semiconductor. And semiconductor business is like a yo-yo, up and down, or we call it digital 1 and 0. So digital 1 and 0, two pattern. Yes. Either it ramp up or ramp down, right? Yeah. So automation, it become very important. When the uptime, you were able to immediately ramp up and deliver to them. And when the downtime, you were able to immediately go down. Without the automation, you cannot advertise, I want to hire, and it's too late for you because you need to hire, you need to train, you need to certify, only you can carry out the job. That's why we are pushing a lot of automation. We even acquire automation company because in the past, before acquisition, we are working with few country or automation house. But we have a challenge. Customer keep on change their product revision, and the vendor cannot say how can be the product continue change. So we decided to acquire own automation house. So they support us on all the automation, and customer like the automation because they know you can ramp up, ramp down. Ramp down, you do not need to retrain. In the past 35 years, we never ever happen retrain. We hope we can continue create the principle because employee always the top important backbone for the companies, right? Yeah.
Let's say, for example, you are working with an OEM, right? Yeah. For example, and they put their machine at a foundry or they put it at an OSAT, for example. Yeah. When it comes to the service part, does UWC also provide the service support, or is it just hands off? Yeah. They deal with the service.
Yeah, because the product and IPs actually belong to customer. Okay.
Yeah. UWC is a great business model.
Thank you.
It's not as stressful as the OEM market, I believe.
Pro and cons.
With the use that you have with regards to automation and let's say digitalization, how is that translated into reduced costs or improved quality or faster time to market?
Okay. Yeah, we talk about digitalization first because our customer majority is US, Europe. I'll say that 90% is US, Europe. Digitalization means like they able to, even we are distant in terms of distance is very far, but they able to know their project progress. And then even on the report wise and the trends, how well the product we produce, whether in the right tolerance and dimension, they're able to view directly all the dimensions. They do not need to ask us. So I do not need to hire many people to update to them. Okay, this is the current inventory status. This is the current progress. They're able to view all the data live and give them more confidence that their product is actually well managed and under control. And with the all digitalization, right, we're able to know the trend because semiconductor is yo-yo. You need to prepare when the signal start to ramping up. System will trigger you that abnormality is actually go up to, we can set a limit, 30% forecast out range. So we have to prepare and clarify with the customer. Without the digitalization, how you want to carry out the analysis, then you might not able to react on time. Then you have to suffer with delivery failure and all this thing, quality. Yes.
Yeah. What I'd be intrigued to know as well is, does UWC also collaborate with academic institutions, maybe startup OEMs?
This is something I'm really proud to share because we are manufacturing, right? We are getting a recognition from Malaysia government side as one of the first company who set up some of the manufacturing skill as the first company in Malaysia as academy in factory. Means that factory also provide the academy support. And the academies, the student we train up is actually getting certified by Malaysia government. So we are having a strong collaboration with Malaysia Productivity corporation to continue develop local talent. So all the talent they graduate, they can get the Malaysia certification. They can continue a further study to any of the academic center. So we also timely share to the government and some of the academic center. Like I'm actually working on for industry advisor for some of the academic center that what is the latest skill set market require. Yeah, and we have up to now we have sponsored nearly about 300 student apprentices at UWC. They are working Monday weekend, study Monday to Friday working at UWC. Saturday and Sunday they actually went to attend their class. So we are training them from secondary to a certification diploma. So I always talk to customer, not to worry. We are developing a new batch of engineer every semester. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so now at least in our hand, the academic center plus the Malaysia government support is more than 30 of academic center is actually supporting to supply us the talent. Yeah.
So, I remember, of course, at the beginning of this discussion, when I asked you what's your biggest frustration, you said your biggest frustration is people.
Yeah.
And you linked it to the high turnover.
Yeah.
Why is there such a high turnover?
Malaysia is actually this past few year breaking record. They managed to attract many foreign direct investors. When foreign direct investor come in, when they set up factory, they'll search which are the company produce this and top manufacturer, and the name come up. They say, okay, go hunt to this. And because foreign direct investor come in, they also need to catch up the timeline to prepare themselves, run fast. What is the easier way? Get the people. And whoever is really well trained, right?
But are people moving because of increase in salary, or is it just because of the
partially is actually increase salary, but one of it is actually UWC is a local Malaysia company. So some people they may want to try multinational company. Yeah.
Is it just for someone that looks good on their CV?
Maybe, and they also want to learn, especially young generation. They want to learn different things because foreign direct investor coming in, they may have a different expectation and knowledge they can learn, right? Yeah. But our turnover, it's not that serious. It's still manageable. But if you ask us, right, I would think that the rest of investment machine is not a big challenge for us. Talent is still,
So when you look at your day-to-day job, which part of it is most occupied, like in terms of your time? Is it more so the business part? Is it the training? Is it the...
Okay.
What takes most of your time?
I have a good team. We have a really good and strong team support me at the hand for all the things. What I actually occupy is actually bring in the new business because we have many opportunities when we success deliver to customer will want you to take up more and more challenge part. And some of the skill set is actually Malaysia or Asia is not available. It may only available as US or Europe. So we have to explore how can we equip the skill set so that we're able to build that kind of product. So we are short of the expertise, so we have to continue to figure out when we know what kind of expertise, then we start to train our people to take up. And at the same time, customer have the timeline for you to transfer the product or develop the new product. So now I spend most of the time to understand the new skill set because AI coming in. The equipment no longer like last time you can build like this and the precision and the requirement different. It's far different. So we have to able to achieve this kind of precision skill set and high requirement expectation. So we need to explore how to train the people to achieve this standard, what machine to invest, and then how to build this part with AI requirement coming in, right? Yeah.
Intriguing. And how are you currently dealing with, because one of the discussions I had with someone here in Malaysia was that the one thing that hasn't progressed well is the sustainability and ESG part. What does UWC do these initiatives in terms of placing some emphasis on environmental? responsibility, because it's quite challenging, of course, because you have to also look at...
And this is also very important because our customer also working together with us. They continue let us know how important are all these ESG efforts. So now in terms of eco-diverse, we are under silver level, meaning to say that world top 15% who are able to meet the levels of ESG. Yeah, and also we won quite numbers of the award for ESG. Yeah. So what we did is actually the machine we invest, we want to have green compliance. Yeah. And the company we set up with all the solar panel, we encourage go green. And then we have all the EV charging and also in terms of environment, and we are driving toward the zero carbon emission as well. And then social-wise, we continue to develop more talent. Some of the people, they might weak in academics, right? Not everyone good and not everyone PhD, not weak in academic. We actually work out with all the academic center how to grow them up to be a future talent. So we sponsor them, we cover everything, we give them a pay, we train them up in terms of social. We want to develop more and more engineer. Yeah. Governance, because we are a public listed company, definitely governance-wise, we have to comply everything. That's why in terms of ESG, we are now is still in a top high rank to meet all the criteria. But we still have to continue putting effort to grow when the company growing. Yeah.
I see. Looking at one of your roles, of course, which is, of course, managing supply chain disruptions. We've seen various disruptions. I know you've seen, even when you said that you hit the highest numbers in 2022, there was a lot of disruptions as well during that time. Which one would you say gave you the most headache? Logistics backlogs, or is it component shortages or geopolitical challenges?
I would think the component shortage. It become more. I thought that after pandemic it was getting better, but maybe the product we bring in it involve more and more components because the complexity become different compared to 2022. Right? In the past, maybe component level 50%, but now maybe 70% component you have to purchase all the component. So I think component level now is very challenging for us. But customer understand. So we are working on any alternative, right? We have to solve it. And now with the AI equipment tool coming in, the component they want are different. Some is like one sole single supplier in the world able to produce, and everyone have to queue to get the components.
Right. Intriguing. So you guys are operating in multiple regions, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what strategies guide your global expansion? And how do you decide on, new markets or facilities to serve your customers better?
One of the reasons definitely is customer needs, right? And when customer needs you to have a BCP, because after pandemic, the HQ, everything is actually produced as Penang, Batu Kawan. So customer want to have different site to support in case anything happen, you have the backup plan.
Yeah.
So the location would definitely have to be somewhere not too far and manageable between the HQ and the next. That's why we go for like Thailand and Vietnam. The other things is actually we do have many customers. They come to Asia. They set up their hub at Singapore. Singapore is very costly. We can't set up at Singapore. That's why we set up at Johor, which is nearby. Anything happen, I think less than an hour, we can go to Singapore to support. Yeah. So the location-wise is actually have to take in consideration customer need and
on that basis. Okay. So of course you have to look at customer needs and of course realistic expenses, right? Because you have to do the investments.
Yes.
What do you see? I mean, of course, for UWC, let's say I'm going to give a year range of 5 to 10 years. First, the first question would be, what are the biggest opportunities that you see?
I think it's doing the integration. integration to be complete, because we want every customer, they want to have easy to manage, right? So now, as I mentioned, component problems, right? So we still have the challenges. Sometimes we have to go back to customer that this component problem, that component problems, right? So in the upcoming 5 to 10 years, we will have to work out how can we well manage all the shortages of components, so that when we go for integrations, right, we able to deliver the product on time to customer. And when customer ramp up, we always able to immediately ramp up. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what would you say is going to be the biggest challenges then for the next 5 to 10 years?
I'll say yes.
What do you think is going to be the biggest challenge?
I would say that the integration-wise, on the component supply chain management. Yeah.
So that's both a challenge and an opportunity.
Yeah, always. That's why we also start to go in some AI supply chain software to let us know the patterns of the components, so that we can predict, and also doing some preparation.
Okay. Of course, another key question to ask you would be the geopolitical atmosphere. How are you handling, because I'm sure you've got customers in China and then you've got customers in America.
We don't have.
You have no customers in China? Okay.
Yeah.
I assumed you had the customers in
We don't have, yeah.
So by not dealing with customers in China, that only allows you to deal with a different side of the world.
Yeah. US and Europe.
US and Europe. Intriguing. So you guys have chosen your side. Intriguing. Intriguing.
Sometimes you can't choose to either.
Yeah. Fair play. Fair play. Tell me more about your leadership initiatives, Yen. How do you retain your talent now?
As a leader, I think that especially while manufacturing, we have to manage every employee by using hearts. We need to understand employee needs, because be frank, that without the employee, without a team of people, right, the company names, it's just a brand. Yen might just a name, right? So even the past 2 years, semiconductor downtrend is actually hit UWC seriously. But we are so lucky that we have our good and understanding CEO and COO. They very support. Even though the business is downtrend, but every time, whatever we gain, we actually giving back to the employee in certain percentage. We want the employee to grow together with the company. So if you ask me on the leadership, I will focus on make the employee happy to working at the company, so that they can actually align with the company direction and they can support me. Whenever they can support me, they are actually supporting our customer. And customer is happy when seeing the company employee are happy when working with the companies, right? So I'm in between to making the employee happy and customer happy. This is my role to bridge up so that company able to grow and then customer can continue give us more and more business. Yeah.
Marvelous. So yeah, let's say, for example, there is another Yen out there,
Okay.
who just graduated from university.
Okay.
What advice would you give her about entering the semiconductor industry?
Okay, I always talk to people, especially all the students, they just graduate from the secondary. I come back to them, very simple, no pain, no gain. And
pain, no gain.
Yeah,
No pain, no
yeah,
gain.
nothing impossible, because if you're ready to support semiconductor, be frank, it's quite pain. When they ramp up, they chase you all night, every day, they want the equipment, so you have to be ready. But as long as you can deliver, you have ramp. Compared to other segment, it may be quite stable, then less pain, then less gain.
Sure. That's a very nice way to put it. Is there anything that you would like to share about UWC's journey or the broader landscape of semiconductors before we wrap up this discussion?
Yeah. We always share to everyone that why we listen to customer, because customer, the one is actually give you the opportunity. And whenever any opportunity come in, you need to accept it and transform. That's why you can see UWC started as a trading company. And today we are able to kind of remote factory to help our customer to doing a full integration. So all these journeys is actually, whenever any opportunity come in, it's actually with the challenge you have to take up. So yeah, this is my advice: is opportunity always come, and there is a challenge. Yes.
Yen, thank you for this marvelous discussion. We have a tradition on the show where the last person leaves a question for the next person.
Okay.
So the last person has left you the following question. Looking at today's challenges, especially the geopolitical challenges of 2025, two key challenges remain. It is competition and policies.
Okay.
How will you manage this? Competition and new policies coming.
For us, right, as we mentioned, like majority of our customer is actually it's actually from US and Europe. So we are seeing that it will be more opportunity coming in with the new policy coming. We will benefit. That's why we are prepare ourselves for all the challenge and opportunity coming in. So yeah.
But the thing is I've actually heard on, and I know this is actually the case, is that there are some Chinese companies, they know how to do things much faster, much quicker, much better. But what they're doing now, because of the policies, is they open up a company neutral somewhere like in Singapore, and then they buy a company out in Malaysia. How will you handle that type of competition?
Oh, that's why as a leader, we have to always sensitive with the market. Like you can see many of the big giant company like Nokia and Intel, right? Sometimes if you're not sensitive enough with the latest market trends, someone may overtake you, right? So for this one, I always ensure that we keep the latest market trend and prepare ourselves in case anything happen. We probably may consider to have other region of the customer. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah.
When one door closes, other doors open.
Yes.
Yen, listen, thank you so much for joining us on the Semiconductor Leadership Podcast.
My pleasure.
Enlightening discussion, and we wish UWC Berhad a great success for the future.
Thank you.
Thank you so
much. Yeah.